While every man, and every aspect for that matter, has their own unique set of personality traits that make them unique, there are specific classifications that allow us to better understand a man's actions, and more specifically, why a man lives life the way he does, especially in terms of work and romance. Welcome back, Psycho. Today's video is all about explaining the 6 male personality types according to the socio-sexual hierarchy. But before we start, have you liked and subscribed to our channel yet? Be sure to click the notification bell while you're there so that you never miss a video. Alright, let's jump right into it, starting with number 1, the alpha male. At the top of the socio-sexual hierarchy, we have the alpha male, the type of man that is said to set the example of the confident leader of his social circle. The term alpha is actually derived from the animal kingdom's position of the leader of the pack. But it's important to remember that nobody is born with alpha confidence. In fact, alphas must learn and practice this sense of leadership throughout their lives, just as the rest of us are challenged to do. Although confidence is something that comes with time, their outgoing nature may be as a result of their extroverted personalities, which they probably exhibited since they were a child. The alpha is naturally inspiring to others and uses this outgoing essence to their full advantage by maintaining social connections that help them get to where they want to go in the long run. He doesn't mind taking his goals and dreams into his own hands because he knows that his life is a product of his actions and determination. This makes him a great leader in and of itself. However, his personable and charismatic personality helps him and his social circles even further by providing a comfortable space where people feel confident to express their unique ideas, which an alpha is always open to utilize because he knows that teamwork makes the dream work. The alpha is naturally popular and can be very fun to be around, magnetizing all sorts of people to him effortlessly. Number 2, the beta male. The beta is an alpha's greatest member of his social circle because of his easygoing and seemingly submissive behaviors. He avoids conflict by doing his part because if everything that is expected of him is accomplished, he tends to feel more comfortable in his surroundings, an important factor for this type of loyal and reserved man. The loyalty of a beta man is considered one of his greatest strengths, and although he may not always speak his mind, he will always be there to help a friend or boss when they're truly in need of a helping hand. The beta male is incredibly friendly and easy to talk to, but he will rarely be the one to start a conversation due to his reserved manner that makes them seem shy and not willing to share his opinion. Because of this, he is rarely motivated to stand up for himself in the workplace setting and even within relationships, which can allow other people to easily use them to their own advantage, without taking their feelings, wants, or needs into account. The beta is a very hard worker who doesn't complain or disrupt the flow of the workspace, which makes him a leader's greatest asset, which is why most companies are fueled by teams of betas being the backbone of the day-to-day matters. Number 3, the delta male. The delta is the most common type of male and is often referred to as the average Joe because of this notion. While, of course, deltas are much more than just the average Joe, when it comes to work and romance, they may seem this way because they aren't overly interested in going above and beyond for themselves and their goals, and instead seem to put in the work for other people. The delta is an interesting type of man because he usually comes from being a gamma or alpha position, yet at some point in their lives tragedy struck and they became reserved and slightly resentful of the world around them. Whether it was a bad breakup that caused him to develop trust issues or another type of sudden loss, the delta may seem like he doesn't really care about the cards life has dealt him anymore, because he feels a lack of control in how everything plays out. He may use his past issues as an excuse to stay in his unhappy and unproductive way of life, rather than use them as a motivator to do better for himself. Because of this, the Delta man may be considered one of the loneliest type of men, but on the bright side, with a few mindset and lifestyle changes, the Delta can easily make his way back to his old confident self. But it's easier said than done, and definitely requires work and dedication to pull himself out of his victim mentality. Number 4. The Gamma male. The Gamma male is an interesting mix of traits and characteristics which makes them quite difficult to point out. They are definitely empathetic and aware of the people and circumstances around them, allowing them to be a great supporter system for others. Yet he also is quite adventurous and takes his individuality and curiosity for the world quite seriously. He does take other people's feelings into account when making life decisions, however, he uses his individualistic and adventurous tendencies to take his own path in life, and can get quite uncomfortable should these needs be challenged or silenced through a relationship or job position. This curiosity for what life has to offer stems from the Gamma man's wide array of skills and interests that they receive from exploring life and doing as they please, which only fuels their need for exploration even further. Unlike a Beta man, this type of individuality isn't exactly ideal for the workplace setting that involves mundane, repetitive tasks, yet their unique skill can be extremely valuable to a team. Although they are individualistic, the Gamma man also craves the respect and admiration from others for his skill set and abilities, which he can get by using his unique skills as part of a team. The awareness that the Gamma man expresses in his everyday life allows him to effectively communicate his needs while taking other people's needs and wants into account, which makes him a great leader in his own way. Gammas are easily well-liked and admired because of their caring side that is backed by their ability to speak the truth of their own desires, and even stand up for the desires of others. To put it simply, the Gamma is one of the most level-headed of all male types. Number 5. The Omega male. The Omega male, unlike the Alpha, doesn't feel the need to be the outstanding performer or leader in the pack. In fact, they are so self-assured that they lack interest in the most competitive aspects of the male culture because they march to the beat of their own drum. His meaning and desires come from within, yet sometimes this backfires for Omega men when it comes to relationships because they only know how to care for themselves and rarely take the wants of others into account. However, this doesn't necessarily bother this type of man because he is driven to accomplish other things aside from relationships, and that's where his true happiness stems from. He acts as his own cheerleader and uses this drive to feed his biggest goals of learning and growing his intelligence, which usually comes in the form of research and thinking. Because of this, the Omega can be considered one of the smartest male types, as he's dedicated so much time and interest into his diversified interests. The Omega male type has an underlying lack of care for what's going on around him, in the sense that he doesn't ever feel obligated to go with the crowd or impress others if it doesn't contribute to his need for learning and walking his own path. This lack of interest in external validation gives this independent man the freedom he needs to execute the life he really wants, even if it's in complete solitude. And number 6, the Sigma male. Now, the Sigma male isn't exactly part of the socio-sexual hierarchy. In fact, in most diagrams of this ranking system, the Sigma is actually on the outskirts right beside the Alpha male. This is because, although the Sigma and Alpha have many differences, they also have some commonalities, which actually gives the idea that Sigmas could be Alphas if they really wanted to, yet they usually choose their unique lone wolf way of life instead. The leader in the Sigma male allows them to be extremely cunning and likable because of his natural sense of self-confidence. They can easily convince others of their way of thinking in a humble way, using patience and persistence over power. The Sigma male plays by his own rules and ultimately doesn't care if people approve of his life decisions or not, because, similar to the Omega, the Sigma male lives life on their own terms because of his need for knowledge. The difference is that this type of man craves exploration and adventure and is more drawn to the unconventional topics rather than the systematic ones. Although the Sigma may seem like he makes decisions on a whim, the risks he takes are well calculated, meaning he probably thought of every possible outcome before going forward with something. This type of intelligence and wit, accompanied by his mysterious nature, makes him extremely likable and interesting to the average person. So Psycho, which male personality type are you most familiar with? Don't forget to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more Psycho videos.